As I cross this imaginary line, I'm feeling very nervous, apprehensive, and I'm just hoping that in the process we are able to make some kind of difference, at least to the lives that we touch.
Kind of have no anticipation until I actually physically see it, and then I'm sure I'll probably be pissed off, but I'm also very hopeful because from the people of Haitian descent that I know, they're very strong people, very proud people, and they don't get very discouraged easily.
As an African born and raised in an African country that's seen similar kinds of struggles, with a population that's seen similar kinds of struggles to Haitians, I feel strongly that, it's important that people know what Haitians think should happen and what kind of role they see for themselves. I don't know what to expect. I've heard horror stories about Haiti before the earthquake, and so with Port-au-Prince I'm feeling a little anxious, but I'm sure that once we get there, acclimate myself, that it'll be okay.
You're gonna stand here. So look at my hand. Give me 1 second.
Je la vie frère tout ton cavi, parce que la vie des fois tout qu'on détruit la vie. Ouais, je vis au bas contre qui joue à mourir, aussi à coup de con bout de chef, famille douce dans mon bout de crâne.
Cimetière là avec l'église là, il y a une liaison avec qui va une naissance et de travail que nous faisons dans le village et nous là qui c'est un village artistique et touristique et qui c'est un village économique aussi en deux coins des bouquets et pour Haïti même. C'est Rémi Jaïdi et moi c'est un sculpteur.
Nous avons organisation avec un travail, nous avons essayé d'identifier quelques monde dans le pays qui a trouvé un autre moyen d'exprimer, que ce soit un travail artistique ou un travail communautaire, d'utiliser vidéo pour une expression qui personnelle parle. Donc, nous avons pensé que c'était bon pour vous, pour faire une extension de travail qu'on va faire, que ce soit dans l'atelier entraînement qu'on va faire. Il y a un poste complémentaire avec Joyo pour documenter le savoir-faire, mais aussi même peut-être utiliser pour essayer d'utiliser un autre médium d'expression artistique tout. Ça où? Numéro ça dit combien de secondes?
Oui, moi la marqué.
Ok, et puis comme ça on va prendre photo ça comme ça.
C'est si m'a zoomer.
Si vous voulez zoomer ou monter ou plus comme ça, fait plus comme ça.
Oui. Font-ils filmer?
Mais oui, font-ils filmer.
Ma font film. Content de pays.
Nous avons envie de venir pour porter contribution à nous. C'est avec qui j'en travaille parce que nous sommes inquiets en pile.
Ok.
Nous avons ça. Et bon, Régis dit nous quand il est parti avant que ça fête. Donc nous sommes satisfaits. Nous demandons pour. Au début, ça n'a pas été évident de trapper une nouvelle. Mais après, nous sommes contents de savoir que vous êtes bien et que dans un nous.
Et comment vous voyez le pays là, venir apprécier ici là?
Moi, je viens pour avoir une vision plutôt positive, parce que je vois l'eau photo. Moi, je mourir, pas de problème, mais quand je viens pour voir qui genre reconstruction a faite, qui genre a gourmet pour avancer, pour manger, pour dormir, pour gagner un petit peu là, pour barrer la pluie là. Donc nous venons dans l'esprit là, ça, pour montrer aux Guadeloupe et la reste du monde, nous voyons d'autres visions qui ça nous javouait si la princesse nationale.
Moi, c'est Augustin Géraldine. Moi, c'est étudiante en médecine à l'université Kiskeya. Du mardi 12 janvier, moi, j'ai pour aller dans l'université. Pendant mon route, c'est là sa catastrophe est passée. Moi, je suis arrivé là parce que moi, déjà connais nouvelle maman. Moi, j'ai besoin de connaître comment l'autre petit soeur, petit frère, l'autre monde est dans le parce que dans la rue, c'était des harcèlements. Pendant que je criais, Grand pile moun k'ap vini blessé. Et que moi c'était une obligation pour moi pour me aider moun sa yo k'ap vini parce que moi j'ai capacité.
Nous pas de rad pour nous mettre, nous pas de manger, nous pas de manger, nous pas de éclairage, nous pas de ça du tout. Et là n'a vu les petits baleines n'a passé pour nous limer là les soirs avant que pour éclairer pour coucher. Mais hier soir nous pas coucher même, la pluie a tombé en force. On a nous la pluie là nous qu'est faire. Pas une connaissance pas toujours été campé, n'a toujours mouillé.
We were shooting the spontaneous encampment that came up behind an open space behind the GAR office. And so we were shooting B-roll, and then people wanted to testify, basically, to give witness to what they're experiencing and asking what they needed. And so we started to take some testimonials, and then, you know, one woman explained what her situation was and what she needed. Then her mother came on, and then she asked me, "What can you do for me?" And I, you know, "What is it that you can do for me?" I said, and then I was going to tell her, you know, the only thing we really can do is what we know best to do is try to get the word out and to tell your story. But I didn't get it out enough in time because I became kind of overwhelmed with emotion because, you know, what is it? What kind of contribution is that really going to be for their immediate, you know, relief? So it was just kind of hard. It was hard to take because, you know, you're walking through the environment, you're there just passing by, but they have to go through these conditions and have no idea of when it's going to get better. And they're very worried about the rain. So I broke down and then I walked off because I couldn't. I was having a hard time dealing with it and telling her what we were trying to do. You know, Marchand Fair also is completely down. Remember, we used to go there to buy stuff. Oh, look at that car!
I think electronic tech. You remember electronic tech? That's where you used to buy anything that has to do with electronics. Oh my
Cathédrale.
God. Cathédrale, oui.
That's the cathedral, no, that's the cathedral.
It used to be the cathedral.
Wow.
We're just started to enter the downtown area. This is the cathedral of Port-au-Prince, and it's in complete ruins now because of the earthquake. It's just quite incredible. This was like a major monument.
What memories does the cathedral hold for you?
Well, it holds memories of my grandmother coming here for special, you know, church events when I would come and visit, and it's just a special part of the culture. It's a really iconic reference point. Historical reference point and personal because my grandmother was very religious. Today's Monday the 22nd. We're a little past halfway our journey through Haiti 1 month post Quake, and it's been a very tough shoot. We've been kind of working non-stop, but also emotionally draining because it's we're hearing stories after stories after stories. Everybody has an emotionally devastating story. But last night, actually this morning at 4:30, we felt a quake. I think it woke everybody up in the house. I think some people sort of panicked. I was a little apprehensive, trying to figure out, well, should I run out of the house? But the point was that by the time I was thinking that through, it was over.
First I thought it was the roof because there's a corrugated iron roof on this house. I later heard it was the windows, but it was like this really loud rattling. I sat up in bed for a second as it continued and then realized what it was, and just basically jumped out of. I was on a bunk bed upstairs, so I was like twice removed from the floor. So it climbed down from the bunk bed and then didn't go downstairs, but got out into the hallway, and you know, Roderick and Garland had also just rushed out of our rooms, and we all just stood there trying to figure out, okay, is that it? Is it over? And you know, just coming to terms with what had just happened.
Well, I talked to Michelle and her cousin. Well, I talked to Michelle. She had talked to her cousin, and they said it was about a 4.7, and which is pretty substantial. I mean, I was in bed. I had my iPod on, which was wild, and I just started like feeling a rumble from the bottom up, and it just started moving from the ground floor on up, and I woke up. Well, I was already awake, but I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. But I mean, I knew it was the earth was shaking, but I was just hoping that maybe it was something quick.
And it's a good reminder. It puts it back into my head, the kind of fear, because it's easy to kind of forget that when you're talking to person after person who tells a story, their story, the experience of the earthquake, and you know, they talk about fear, and you see all these people everywhere you go, people sleeping outside in tents outside their houses, and some houses look fine, but they're all sleeping outside for fear. So it takes a little bit of fear of my own, you know, to remind me of that.
A little worn down and tired, but you know, ready for like another week of just trying to just get through and get as much material as we can get to put together some interesting stories.
Ça, on a décidé ça, tout ça, c'est sur le site, sur l'Institut.
Oui.
Ok, on va faire des fois de ok, ben merci à vous pour que je Oui, oui. I'll put your name up here, Brad.
Okay. Did you put your email address? It's up there.
Merci. Est-ce que vous avez pour photo? On va pour photo. Ah, c'est super ça, parce que nous passons vite dans l'enchaînement, nous avons intégré ça au fait. C'est l'enchaînement. Donc vous rencontrez avec l'enchaînement?
Oui, l'enchaînement.
Par hasard?
Pas par hasard, non.
On
En République dominicaine, et je suis avec caméra.
These are Guadeloupean artists who came to volunteer in Haiti. They're friends of his that he met when he was out there. So they came as a group, Haitians living in Guadeloupe and Guadeloupean artists. He's a photographer. Wow. And they came to document and to help bring aid, but they're saying that, you know, they're seeing a lot of positive stuff and energy and people really doing things for themselves, and that it's important to show that part of what's going on.
Vraiment, qui histoire médaille là? Parce que moi, son belle médaille et son pièce antique et puis qui marque Pérou la dernière.
on choisit un côté qui est très passant, donc il y a plus d'informations. Quelle question, c'est un son. Parce que le son, faut vous penser à son, parce que parfois, le son de l'environnement a...
C'est parasité un peu, ok.
Mais jusqu'à présent, c'est pas un problème dans ça.
I feel good. I feel relieved that I'm getting to go home. I'm appreciative of what I have there, but I also feel really sad because the struggle is going to just continue for the people of Haiti, and you know, it's kind of conflicting to know that you know, I get to leave and these people don't. You know, they got to deal with their issues and their problems, and you know, any way that I can help, I will. But it's just a sad reality of circumstance.
You know, the one word that sums up this experience for me has been intense. I had no real reference point for this experience coming in, and I realized that thinking back to, you know, the heading into Haiti for the first time when I spoke about my expectations, was that one of my biggest fears was security and my own personal safety. And just feeling overwhelmed. Well, you know, those fears went unfounded because throughout our trip, you know, there wasn't a single moment when I felt physically threatened or felt that my safety was really in danger. I can now count Haiti in a way as part of my African family, because that was a connection I didn't really expect to find, and I found it so strongly just, you know, with East Africa, West Africa particularly, but I feel like a definite African connection.
Anyway, it's all mixed emotions about being eager to get back to my family, to my home, but you know, leaving behind you know, people I'm attached to, people I've come to know, who have a really long, you know, and hard road ahead of them. And I'm actually thinking about, you know, coming back sooner rather than later. There's nothing that you can see on TV or on the media that compares to what you see when you're on the ground. Nothing. No matter how many pictures, no matter how many videos, no matter how many audio stories you can hear, nothing compares to being there. And I say that as someone who's there a month later. I can't even imagine what the experience was like to be there on that day when the earthquake hit.